This is your weekend edition of your Barbados Today News Update. It's Friday, February 15th, 2019. A warm welcome to you. I'm Carol Williams. From next week, security concerns at Ellerton Primary School will be no more. The St. George School, which had at least 3 intruders during the week, is set to get a new perimeter fence. Acting Minister of Education Lucille Moore made the announcement today after she and other officials got a first-hand look at the problems at the school. She explained that people have been using the school's property as a shortcut in the community, and as a result, the gates are often left open. She says the new fencing will remedy the problem.
Well, we're aware of what needs to be done, and we're working on it. The fencing issues that are clear, we have addressed those. We have had quotations on getting new fencing done. Those are in now, and so by next week, the process of the new fence going up should have started. I'm told by the school that they don't have a problem with us doing the work during school time because they will be able to monitor the kids, and it's not dangerous work. It's work that apparently can be done while school is in session. So that's our plan for the fencing. We think that will help alleviate some of the issues. They've shown me the areas where people, because this school is in the middle of a community, so people use a shortcut by traversing to the northern side and coming across to get to the main road. So the school explained that this has been a pattern that's been existing for quite some time, and they don't have a problem it continuing except during school hours. Because normally once school is out, they open the gate and they allow people then to take the shortcut and go through. But the community knows that during school time, obviously for the security and the safety of the children, that they would have to then take an alternate route.
Over in Christchurch, a massive cleanup operation will get underway tomorrow to fix the vexing cowage problem plaguing the Blackman and Gala Primary School. Environment and National Beautification Minister Trevor Prescott, Acting Education Minister Senator Lucille Moore, and other officials descended on the site today. On this World Pediatric Cancer Day, President of the Barbados Cancer Society, Dr. Dorothy Cook Johnson, says the island is steadily improving care for young cancer patients. According to Johnson, some 10 to 12 children are now diagnosed with serious cancer annually, and there are some 7 related deaths due to the disease. Praising doctors who work with patients, Cook Johnson hinted that the island has come a long way.
I think they're doing very well with leukemias and so on now because the treatment is much better. I think they're finding it more early and dealing with it. But there's still tragedy, as we noted the other day. And there's sometimes the doctors just try their best to do all they can. It's a wonderful group of doctors that they've got in pediatrics at the QEH, and they do their real level best. They can only do that.
This morning, the Cancer Society received a $500 check from the St. Michael Lions Club to help fund its work. Jacqueline Skeet, who is in charge of the Society's Client Services and Welfare Program, says they are always ready to lend support to pediatric cancer patients.
We help those single parents who at the time when their child is in hospital, they have to, give up work in order to be able to be home and to be, in some cases, live in the hospital to stay with them during the time of treatment for chemo. So in that case, we certainly support their needs. It may be medication, it may be something as simple as what would seem to be simple, Pampers and other sleepwear and meals while they're in hospital.
Barbados will roll out the red carpet for some royal guests next month. The Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall will pay an official visit to the island on Tuesday, March 19, as part of a Caribbean tour. During the visit, they will participate in several events, including a parade and wreath-laying ceremony at the Cenotaph in the National Hero Square, and a reception at which they will be able to interact with a wide cross-section of Barbadians. The Prince will also visit national sites, observe a demonstration on this island's hurricane preparedness mechanisms, and meet teams involved in responding to recent natural disasters across the region. Meanwhile, the Duchess, who is the president of the Women of the World Festival, will attend an event for Barbadian women of influence and pay visits to the Derek Smith School and Vocational Center and the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. Prime Minister Mia Mottley says the visit serves to buttress the island's relationship as a member of the Commonwealth.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To the region now, the Haitian president says he will not step down from office, promising citizens he has no intention of putting the country in the hands of armed gangs and drug traffickers. Opposition political parties have been staging street demonstrations demanding his resignation for failing to investigate allegations of corruption in the previous government over Petrocaribe. More in this report.
After a week of political crisis and violent protests in Haiti, which have left at least 7 people dead, there'd been no word from the president. With the demonstrations against him showing no sign of ending, Jovenel Moïse finally broke his silence, announcing he would not be stepping down.
I have listened to the people. I know what you are being faced with. That's why I have brought in a series of measures. I've asked the Prime Minister to come and explain them and to adopt them quickly, so that we can end people's misery immediately. I, Jovenel Moïse, head of state, I won't leave the country in the hands of armed gangs and drug traffickers.
The latest protests have been triggered by the country's inflation and skyrocketing prices, and a scandal over development loans made by Venezuela, where billions of dollars are unaccounted for. A court report last month suggested that President Moïse had been involved in irregularities. During his election campaign, he promised food on every plate and money in every pocket. As people in Haiti struggle to make ends meet and face inflation that has risen 15% since his election, demands for the president to step down are unlikely to go away.
And finally, on the international scene, President Donald Trump today declared a national emergency in a bid to fund his promised wall at the U.S.-Mexico border without congressional approval. Democrats have vowed to challenge the action as a violation of the U.S. Constitution.
So I'm going to be signing a national emergency.
President Donald Trump on Friday made good on a threat to declare a national emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border, circumventing Congress in a bid to tap billions of dollars in federal funds for his signature wall.
We're getting it done.
The contentious move, opposed by many of his own Republicans, came as Trump grudgingly signed a bipartisan government spending bill that would avert another federal shutdown. But it does not include the $5.7 billion in wall funding he had demanded.
Well, I got $1.4 billion, but I'm not happy with it.
White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney said the administration had identified roughly $8 billion already in government coffers that could be used for the wall. That money includes $600 million from a Treasury Department fund, $2.5 billion from a Defense Department drug interdiction fund, and $3.6 billion from a military construction budget. A senior official said the goal was to build at least 234 miles of border wall this year. The emergency order drew fierce criticism from a host of lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, who cited Congress's power over the nation's purse. Republican Senator Marco Rubio said no crisis justifies violating the Constitution, while Republican Senator John Cornyn said the emergency declaration would not be a practical solution. But after repeatedly advising Trump against it, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is now supporting the move, saying Democrats had left him no choice.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Carol Williams. Have a good day.